Whose channel is this one on?
Yours.
Okay.
Hold on. I think it's yours because we missed last week.
We did. People were asking.
2? How many?
3. And if 3 people asked, that means at least 10 times as many thought about it.
Here's my favourite rugby podcast that we're thinking.
Exactly.
What have I done wrong with the mic this week? And what's stupid about this? No one can hear me complain.
I can hear you. That's all that matters.
Oh, jeez.
This is great, enthralling viewing.
This is great stuff.
Or listening, if you're listening
well-
on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
Well, look, the podcast may well have not started because I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if any of that was usable.
It's you struggling.
Me struggling to unclench the mic that I tightened myself. All right, Mark, here we are again, and we've run again. Do you think we perhaps might now be the fittest YouTube rugby podcast in the West Auckland region?
I reckon we probably are.
Yes.
I mean, I'm glad you put that clarifier of like the West Auckland region, because otherwise my answer would probably be no.
Yeah. Well, look, I don't think there are many rugby podcasts where the 2 hosts run 12Ks before the start.
This is true.
12Ks is a fair distance. It's nothing to be sniffed at.
It wasn't that fun.
I had fun.
Okay.
Yeah, I found it quite good.
First 2Ks were quite nice.
You thought it wasn't too bad today?
Yeah.
You're feeling good about it. When did you go, oh, this is really
When we
stuck.
almost ran to my house.
Yeah, we got, because we
Run
went on
all the way
that stupid
back.
detour, but it's probably about 6K to your house, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we really
So next time we should run to my house, just say hello to the kids, and then run back here to start the pod.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, you probably could do that, really, because we went on that stupid past the horses, scared some horses in a paddock.
We didn't spook them on the way
No,
past,
but we
on the
scared
way
the
back.
shit out of them on the way back. What the fuck are those guys doing?
They're coming back.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah,
Yeah, we missed out on last week.
yeah, sorry about that. That was my bad.
You were busy working.
Yes, I had to go to Northland, actually. And yeah, it was a big, long week.
A few people asked.
What did they say?
No pod this week?
Oh,
Yeah.
where's Tony?
Yeah.
I long for him.
Where's the skinny guy?
Oh yeah, skinny guy. Yeah, don't
So
hear-
yeah.
I haven't heard that too much in my life, to be fair. You know what?
The skinny guy with the hat.
I met somebody at this work event that I was at last week that I had heard of, and they'd heard of me. You know what's a weird thing?
Was it the Undertaker from WWE?
No, I can't say it was the Undertaker from WWE.
Oh, okay.
That would have been very odd.
He's like, Tones!
Oh yeah, Undertaker. It's kind of watching for years. No, but the person said to me, and I don't know how to take it. They were like, "I thought you were chunkier," and I was like,
You used to be.
"Yeah," and I'm like, my fatness was so intense that it preceded me.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez Louise.
Yep.
So that's a little bit of a worry.
You used to be a bit of a unit,
Oh.
but you had a jolly look about you.
I was never like, whoa, that's one fat bastard.
No, not quite that
Yeah.
bad.
But like, I was a couple of pies away from it, you know?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
You've slimmed down a bit. Well done.
Whoa. Yeah, okay. We need a new topic.
This is true. This is the second week in a row.
Yeah, we've talked about it. We know it. And yeah, it's just going to be like a sad sort of like week by week. You'll be like, oh, Tony doesn't look quite as trim as he
Yeah, he's really filling out.
Yeah. Then like when they go just week by week, you're like, oh yeah, there he is.
Yeah, that's Tones.
There's the old T-dog. No, but we're not going to do that this year because you're training for the half. I'm training for the full. The half. You going to do it? Commit to it on camera.
I don't think
Comment
so.
below. If I'm committing to the bloody full, like you can commit
That's
to
your
the half.
business.
We ran 13Ks today. We actually ran 13, not 12. Yeah, and then you can do like another 8. You'll be fine.
It's a long way.
Yeah, no, it's not that long. If
a
you're
lot
doing
of
that now,
running.
you still got like another 6 months to train. You'll be absolutely fine.
That's a lot of running.
Yeah, you get to run over the Harbour Bridge. It's cool. Run through the mean streets of Devonport.
Cool.
Yeah. Up Lake Road, past Takapuna Grammar, up to Smales Farm, turn left onto the...
Do they have horses there?
No, you know Smales Farm, don't you?
Vaguely. I don't go to the shore that much.
No, you really don't know it. The shore, the home of the mighty Moana Pacifica.
That's true.
North Moana.
There you go.
North Pacifica.
We'll be talking about them later.
Yes. Oh, I almost snuck into some rugby chat a little too quickly. Preemptive, premature.
Can I tell you about my plumbing?
Okay. Before you get into it, is that a euphemism for like some sort of bowel issue that you've got, or because if we get into that age, well, we can need.
Yeah. No, it's literally about my plumbing.
So when you say literally, do you mean like literally like getting, the old finger rooney, or what are we talking about?
No, literally my plumbing.
Oh, so your pipes.
The pipes.
Okay. Anus stuff.
I need your opinion, but there's quite a few steps to the story, so I'm not sure if you'll be able to get through the whole thing.
I have a renowned for my short attention span.
Yeah, that's what I'm worrying about.
Look, I'll do my best.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, not this weekend just gone, but the weekend before.
Sorry?
There you go. I was digging in my garden. I got
a couple of weeks ago you were digging.
I got a little garden at the front, and I was digging.
Mm-hmm. Or you hit a pipe.
No, I didn't hit a pipe. I was only going down like this far.
A couple 100 mil.
Yeah. And I noticed the soil down there was wet.
Oh.
And I was like, that's not good because it hasn't been raining much.
You got a leak.
So I went to check the water meter. The water meter's at the end of the driveway because there's 5 houses down our driveway.
Yeah.
And I know there's 5 water meters in there.
I think we might have a leak as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How's your water usage? Skyrocketing?
Yeah, they say we have 6 people living here.
Oh, you should probably get that checked out.
We have 2.5 people living here. Yeah.
Well, I haven't had a high water bill yet.
Yeah, right.
But I opened the metal cover. It's pretty heavy, but I managed it. Just saying. All by myself.
La-di-da.
Nobody helped me.
See that bed over there? I lifted it.
And there's 5 meters in there because there's 5 houses down our driveway. And one of them's pissing water.
Oh.
But that's not even my one.
Oh, jeez.
And then my one's on the left. And I could see there's no water coming out of my one, but the little dial is fucking going nuts. Mm-hmm. I was like, that's not good.
No.
So I turned off the water to the house. And sure enough, it stopped. And then I turned on the water at the house, turned back because I got another valve at the house itself, turned the house off, turned the mains on. And then
this is a real thriller.
There's still running water even when my house is off. So between the mains and my house, there's a leak somewhere.
There's running water at your house even though the mains are off.
If I turn my house water off, but the mains on, the meter still runs.
Oh.
So between the mains and my house, somewhere in that pipe, there's a leak.
Yes.
As evidenced by the water in the garden.
Indeed. Well, great powers of deduction, Mr. Morgan. Congratulations.
So I got a plumber, and he's like, fuck it now.
Half the time they don't know how to deal with that stuff.
He was just like, that's a lot of water.
They don't have to deal with stuff in the house, but if it goes...
Yeah, so he was using like a listening device to try and find out if he could find the water leak, but he couldn't find it.
Right, he wasn't just trying to find valuable stuff in your backyard.
I don't know. Can you hear treasure?
Well, those people with the
metal detectors. He did do this little thing with these 2 wires.
There's a metal detector.
Okay, whatever he was doing. He did his thing.
Don't take my... You did that thing. You believe me when I say my bullshit way too easy. Sometimes I'm saying it. I know it's bullshit. True. And then you go, oh, okay. And I'm like, oh, gosh.
So either way, I got a leak and it's going to be very expensive to fix. He's going to have to put in new pipes. But the question I need your opinion on.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I checked my water bill.
This is what it all comes down to.
This is what all's been leading up to. I checked my water bill. Mm-hmm. The water company checked our meter at the start of March.
Uh-huh.
And it was because they tell you whether it's an estimate or an actual check. They actually checked it.
They did it.
Normal usage.
Yes.
And then AT, which is Auckland Transport, dug up a fucking new footpath.
Oh, those bitches.
With the digger, they got all the concrete out, laid new concrete, which is right next to my water meter.
Right.
On the 10th.
No care.
And then now my neighbor's water meter is leaking and I have a leak in the pipes. Is it possible these things are connected, or is this just a coincidence that those guys just happen to be digging near my water mains?
I would say that it's not only possible, it's likely.
Okay.
Really. If you had someone do an actual check and all tickety-boo normal and you've never noticed, have you ever noticed?
Well, I asked Water Care about my usage because when I had the actual check, my water bill was like 13 kiloliters a month.
Yeah.
And then now it's 93.
The chances of you get some compensation out of this, almost zero.
I know, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. But I can see you trying.
I'm going to try Because I'm a stingy prick, and they want over
Yeah.
$7,000 to give me a new pipe.
Oh,
It's very expensive.
damn it. That stings.
Yeah. I have insurance, but
That's-
insurance doesn't do for like just a leak. It has to be
I'm
like.
not stingy, and that stings.
I know.
And that, for you, that's a real kick in the nuts.
Oh, yeah.
That's one that you, like, toss and turn over when you're in go to bed
Yeah.
at night. Like, fucking...
Yeah.
Put a donation for his pipes.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, that sucks, dude. Bugger. Oh,
I'm hoping my insurance company will see there's like a likely connection and then they will go after AT for some money.
yeah. Or other than that, you need to, if you go for your insurance company, it needs to be proven to be an instantaneous leak.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not, if it's slow
If it's
and
just slow and old pipes, they'll be like, nah, that's just your problem.
Yeah, but instantaneous leak. Yeah,
So the fact that I've got the water bill and then I took photos of when they were digging and then there's a leak within a month, I'm hoping that's evidence. But
how about that?
insurance companies,
All right.
what's the odds they try and get out of paying me?
Very high.
I think so.
People don't like giving you money for just because they feel like doing it.
This is true.
Yeah. But I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Well, I've already
I've
decided that if AT doesn't pay me and the insurance
Yes.
company doesn't pay me, I'll just
Yes.
make like an angry YouTube video and hopefully that makes me a couple $100. I don't know if I could. I probably
give
wouldn't.
them some. You can do a little cash donate to give the Morgan cash because it's on your channel.
Sure.
Yeah, give them a little cash donation for it. Although this is not a great episode to ask for it because we're just talking Super Rugby and a bit of
Champions
Cup, which we appreciate you being here. But it's not like we're talking about the World Cup semi-finals or quarterfinals.
There'd be more people listening to my plumbing if that was the case.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we might be jumping.
Maybe
into
there's some plumbers out there who'll be like, "Sorry, mate, this is just."
It's just life. Ain't that just the way that life goes down?
Exactly.
Usually, for the last few weeks, we've had an extreme, and we are thankful for all our amazing sponsors. Can you name them all? So we've had
the dog walking company,
Four
which was
Paw-
called Four Paws Run.
we had the Big Black.
We had the Ballard Boxing. Ballard? Barbell and Boxing Gym in Ballard.
BBBC.
Ballard in Ballard, which is near Seattle.
Yeah.
I wore their t-shirt on the run
Yeah,
today.
you did. You sweated that bitch out.
Yeah, I wanted to wear. It's nice and baggy and quite a light t-shirt,
And you wear this-
and it's white because we were
wear
running in the
this-
dark. So I was like, I'm gonna get hit by a car. They're gonna see me
Yeah.
at least. You were running in quite dark clothes, so it was easy to lose you.
I had a white hat.
That's true. I could see your white hat.
Yeah.
And then
Way off in the.
Yeah. Following on from Ballard Barbell,
We had Thumbs Up Yacht Crew.
Thumbs Up Yacht Delivery.
We appreciate them. And then we had
Before Tweeddale, we had the band
oh yeah,
Hot
we had
Jams.
Hot Jam
from Ireland.
from Ireland, and then we had
Tweeddale
Tweeddale, and then we had
Sports Forecast. Is that everybody?
And which was an outstanding script for creativity. I think
Exactly.
that's everybody. So we appreciate you, but we don't have a sponsor this week.
We don't have a sponsor.
So we had to pay for our own flipping beers. It's
This is
outrageous.
true.
So
And yet we still made the podcast.
we're dedicated, and he's got bills to pay.
I know.
Yeah. So if you'd like to sponsor this podcast, email Mark at 2 cents rugby.
It only costs just around about $7,000 to sponsor the pod. I wonder where I got that number from.
I don't think I'm going to see much of that.
Actually, yeah, I got to give Tony half.
Yeah. So it's $14,000 per episode.
Yeah, there we go.
It's a very, very reasonable price.
Yeah.
Yes. So thank you to all our sponsors. We'll see if we can get another one at some point throughout the year.
Yeah.
But we're not sellouts. We don't do this for the money. We do it for the love of hip hop, don't we,
This
Mark?
is true.
So
Someone scratched my car the other day as well. Fucking supermarket. Somebody
Oh.
ran a trolley into my car. I even park away from everybody else.
to be fair, your car is so ugly that could only have improved it.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I keep it nice and clean.
Yeah, that would have irritated you as well.
Fuck yes.
So where did it scratch?
Just there's a big scratch like that long on the passenger door on like the back.
What a bastard, eh? Did they didn't mention it, obviously.
No. And it's too deep to like just buff out.
Bastards.
Yes, I'm having a shit run.
Yes. And you're ugly.
That's true.
Well, you can run far.
Well, I can run fast slowly.
Yeah, well, that's the way most people run far, so that's good. Yeah, that sucks. Would you like me to give you a firm handshake? It's like you'll be right, or a sack tap to be like, well, now you got something else to worry about.
Neither.
Neither with the
Tell me
handshake.
something fun. Tell me something.
Well,
tell,
that's
tell,
all
tell,
my
tell me something that's up with you that's going to brighten my spirits.
Or something that's up with me that's gonna brighten your spirits. Well, when I was younger, if I'd like have an itchy eye, I'd be like, Dad, I got an itchy eye. He'd be like, come here. I'd be like, what? He's like, come here. He'd be like, put your foot out. And
You
I'd be
stomp
like-
on it.
And he'd be like,
No, you're not worried about your eye.
yeah, exactly. And so, does that lift your spirits?
Not really. Kind of.
Really.
The idea
Don't
of your
stomp on the
father
heart.
giving you slight mild abuse, that's kind of brightening my heart.
Yeah. But I'll give you something to be worry about. He wouldn't stand on it hard. He'd just go, boink. Yeah. But he'd do the face beforehand, like.
Oh, yeah, it's all
Yeah.
about the face.
It's all about the face. Yeah. My daughter said to me the other day. She said, "Hey, Dad, do you mind if I call you Big Fella?" She wants to call me Big Fella. What the fuck?
Okay, what did you say to that?
I said, what the fuck? No. She said, I was like, why? She said, I just like it. I don't know what it sounds.
I don't think that'd be cute.
Hey, big fella.
You're at the swimming pool. She's just like, hey, big fella.
Yeah, and then she calls Lydia lady, so she'd have lady and big fella. Yeah.
That'd be adorable.
Yeah, she's an odd cat, isn't she? Yeah.
Aren't we all?
Yes.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, sometimes I worry about her because she's a lot like me, so I'm like, oh dear.
Oh, well.
That's a rough card to be dealt. It really is. Anyway, look, we've done things. We've talked about rugby. We talked about our terrific sponsors. I guess the only thing we can do now, because this is
2 Cents Gets Distracted, a rugby podcast, available on Apple Podcasts.
iTunes. Is
Really?
it? Apple Podcasts.
Not Google Podcasts.
No.
Spotify.
iHeartRadio. There we go. That's about it, really. Or wherever else you get your podcasts, we are there, hanging out. Just hanging
Just
out.
waiting for you to push play.
And then as soon as you press play, we're just going to spew some serious rugby knowledge in your ears. Ejaculated. Right in those ear holes. Ejaculated doesn't have to necessarily refer to semen. Like, would you refer to a like a water gun? Like, oh, what's the power on that? Oh, it's got a good ejaculation.
I don't think that's right.
Is ejaculate semen, or is ejaculate just the action of coming out of a small hole with power? Because like a bullet, does a bullet ejaculate out of a gun? Comment below. Let me know. Has this content ever been on 2 Cents Rugby before? Is this a new low?
All right, big fella.
All right, let's go.
Do you go European rugby or do you want to go Super Rugby? We'll put timestamps.
Yeah, we'll.
Well, I
You
will.
I'll edit it. Let's go Super Rugby because then I can know more about what I'm talking about. And
Okay.
At the end, you can sort of fill me in.
The times work a lot better for Super Rugby, funnily enough, because we are kind of the target audience of Super Rugby, whereas not the target audience of European rugby.
We had a little game on Friday night, and then we had a massive Saturday. If you wanted to like just sit down from about bloody 3 o'clock onwards, you were entertained
Wall to wall rugby.
all the way through to almost midnight. Really, it was a lot of rugby. I can't say I sat there the whole time, but I caught a wee bit of it, quite a bit of it, really.
Did you watch the Chiefs play the Reds?
I did.
Because that was number 1 against number 2.
Yeah, that was a Friday night game,
It was
wasn't it?
pissing down with rain.
Yeah, we've had a bit of rain coming through. We're coming through New Zealand over last week. It's a bit of.
So it's lucky I wasn't digging my hole at that point, because I would have just thought,
Oh, it's the rain. Yeah,
Raining.
Yeah. But no, I didn't feel like that was the greatest quality game. Really, it was.
I don't think it was too bad given the conditions.
Yeah, it was but just a little bit of a dirge, and then the Chiefs just showed their class and powered away in the second half.
A few more
really.
tries.
Yeah, a few more tries. Are the Reds the real deal, or have they just had a good run, a good draw so far?
Well, I mean, they lost 27-15, which is not the worst result in Hamilton up against the Chiefs.
No, on a wet night.
So
You'd back them on a wet night versus the Queensland Reds were not known for its rain in Queensland.
I still think the Reds are going to be a tough side.
In the top 4 towards the end. getting some home semis and stuff.
Well, now we've got to think about top 3 because it's top 6, so you want to be in the top 3. I reckon they can finish top 3.
Yeah, right.
It looks like Crusaders, Chiefs, and Reds at the moment.
Yeah. Who have they got on the run home?
I think we have to go to play them at some point over in Brisbane.
Okay, that'd be interesting.
And they've got the Brumbies next in Brisbane again. So
Right.
that'll be an interesting one because the Brumbies in recent years have been the Aussie team.
Yeah.
But it seems like they're switching at the moment.
I don't know if you're a Chiefs fan, though, for that game, you'd be like overwhelmed with how your team is tracking right now.
No team at any point this season has looked like untouchable.
Like they're the shit.
Like even the Chiefs, whilst they're still the best team. They've only lost 1 game. They only just beat us.
Yeah,
and we've been shit.
Well, they beat us in the first week when we were
Pretty
leading.
comfortably.
Well, we were leading, and then they came home strong,
Yeah.
and then they absolutely gave a fucking pounding to the Crusaders. So I
Yeah.
thought in the second week, I thought, oh, Chiefs are going to be tough this year.
Yeah.
But they haven't. They've scrapped through a lot of the games, showing good class, but they're still not putting together like a complete 80-minute performance.
They're getting good impact from the bench, I think.
Yeah. I think they've had the most interesting bench strategy.
Yeah, like they beat us with the bench. They beat the
Yeah.
Reds with the bench.
Yeah. Cortez Ratama has been coming off the bench a bit. Did they have Luke Donaldson come off the bench?
Who's Luke
Oh,
Donaldson?
fuck, what's his
Luke
name?
Jacobson.
Luke
He
Jacobson.
started this game. He scored early on.
Well, no, what's his name? Vai? He came off the bench. So they're not afraid of like sending
Yeah, that's
like,
right.
some top line All Blacks onto
Onto the bench to
onto the
add some
bench.
impact. Yeah.
So that's that's courageous, but also shows a lot of faith across the entire squad, really, doesn't it? Because if you can get those guys to come on with and empty the tank over the last 30,
Yeah.
like they can't do anything else but have a big impact on the game, and that's obviously when the game's won and lost.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that game was 3 tries apiece. Just the kicks from DMAC was the difference. A couple of penalties and 3 conversions was a 2 conversions. The Reds didn't kick any of their goals.
But a drop ball to be
In the wet.
expected. My man Shooter, great product of the North Shore of Auckland.
They became 100 games, I think they said, for him,
Yeah,
for
I
the
thought it
Chiefs.
I thought it was 50,
Was it 50?
or was it 100?
I thought it was 100.
I thought it was 50. I'm not sure. Looks like he's going to Japan. Is that
Yeah, I think
is
he
that-
wants out.
Yeah. Well, look, how big is his boot? You know who he reminds me a little bit of?
The Undertaker from WWE?
What the fuck is it with
I don't know.
James Lowe?
Oh, yeah.
Massive boot, supremely talented,
Māori All Black.
Māori All Black.
He's actually All Black as well.
Yeah, I would.
1 cap All Black.
Yeah, I don't think we've utilized him to his greatest potential.
Yeah, he seems to basically have just wanted a bit of reassurance that, like, hey, you're in the picture.
Yeah.
But he's not got that, so he's just like, well, fuck you.
Yeah. I think if he was a Crusader, he probably would have got some caps because there are a few Crusaders players who have just been dragged along. You know, if you're a Crusaders Lucy over the last 7 years, you've made it all, but you've made a handful of caps. You couldn't help it. You just
Almost by default.
almost by default. So yeah, him and Hossing and Satutu are not players that have looked on favourably.
A bit kind of underutilized, eh?
and tremendously talented. Tremendously talented. They go back to like that. What is it? We're looking for players who are active on both sides of the ball. So it's the defense is obviously what they're talking
Yeah, there's
about.
been a few guys who've been given shit for that kind of thing. Akira Ioane was another one who they were just like, oh, he's too lazy around the park and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Best coaches will get the best out of players if they've got that pure skill set. So
Indeed. So those two teams are basically locked in for the top 6. They can't get out.
I
of
can't
it.
see either of them not making the top 6 at the very least.
Yeah, so they just have like the Reds would have to absolutely shit the ball, and it's probably almost impossible for the Chiefs to do it now. To not be there.
But it is a good playoff race this year in Super Rugby.
Yeah, it's much better than it has been in the last couple.
Like
of years.
right now, the Hurricanes, the Blues, like we're out of the playoffs. The Waratahs are in the playoffs. So there's a lot of teams who are kind of there or thereabouts.
Yeah,
it's
we
pretty
almost
tight.
need to go unbeaten now, don't we? Almost.
Yeah, we've only had 2 wins.
Yeah. Do they count 1 point losses as
No.
like potential wins? That would be good if we. Would have got a couple.
Moana
of those.
Pacific got a second win in 2 weeks. North Moana.
North Moana.
Moana Harbour.
North Pacifica.
They've got a big thing with bins.
Oh, yeah, smacking on the bins.
Yeah.
That's
Their social media stuff is doing very well. They're being very proactive with
they-
social media. I think one of the players, Dad, I think one of the players has a kid at my school.
Oh, yeah?
I looked at that guy, I was like, I know that guy. He's the halfback for Moana Pacifica. I'm pretty
really?
sure.
One of the Warriors, I can't remember his name now. I did want to say Kerry Ioane, but that's not him.
Stacey Jones.
No, not Stacey Jones. He definitely has a kid at my school. No, not Stacey Jones, but this Warrior. What's his name? He's a starter.
Manu Vatsavai.
He's just come out of prison. No, I can't.
Steve Price.
Fuck, you're not helping.
Matthew Ridge. John Kerwin.
Geez, yeah, John Kerwin.
He was a Warrior.
Do you know John Kerwin's speaking fee is $12,000 an hour?
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That's a fair ticket pay for my plumbing. And then some.
Yeah, he'd be able to take care of your plumbing for you. Sounds like a euphemism for something. Yeah.
John Kerwin, take care of your plumbing.
Sounds like he does amateur prostate checks.
With those glasses. He's got beady eyes.
Yeah, exactly. What were we talking about?
Moana Pacifica.
Oh, yes.
With beating that bin.
Fuck, they're good, man. It's so good to see because there's been the few games they've won, they've come from behind.
I was a little worried about this game because I was like, they just beat the Crusaders down in Christchurch.
Yeah.
It's like a massive high. You come back home against the Waratahs who were struggling on the road.
Becoming a fortress.
And you're thinking you're favourites for this one. So there's a big risk that you go into this one a little bit underdone or a little bit too casual, a little bit not fired up enough without that same fire in the belly.
They come out
and
not looking great.
And the Waratahs looked good. The Waratahs, scored early, scored a couple of tries. Friggin' Suoli'i. He had 3 assists in that game. He's a beast of a player.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, exactly. So...
But I don't mean to be rude. It's just I've been watching him for
they were up 21-7 at half time.
Yeah.
You're thinking, man, Moana, you guys can't.
No, didn't the Moana get a sneaky try just for half time and it was 21-12? I thought they got back into it. They were losing. I might be wrong. I
know the prop got a hat trick.
Yeah, he had his hat trick almost in the first half, so they definitely got 2 tries in the
32, 44, and 52.
32?
Yeah.
44, so you got him... Oh, yeah.
Maybe either side of half time? 44 could be late first half.
Yeah.
I have a note there that says 21-7 half time, but I could have been wrong.
You know what? You're probably right. We'll go back and check the tape after this.
Either way, the Waratahs played better early.
I was trying to say something, and I did one of the most irritating things you can possibly do. I was offering nothing, but I was just vocal frying down the microphone. I was going, "Whoa." That's one of the most irritating sounds, really. What do you think?
That's a good thing to be doing on a podcast where people are listening to
you. Apparently, men are often really criticized in meetings when they don't know what to say and they kill for time. They say it's important that our initiatives are strategically aligned to our verticals.
Someone who does that.
Yeah, people do talk like that, but they're just killing time for no reason. It's basically like saying ums, and vocal fries are fucking irritating.
Okay. I don't go to meetings anymore, thank God.
Yeah.
Meetings suck.
I don't know. I don't often have to go to like those sort of meetings anymore.
Okay. I didn't like going to meetings that much.
Yeah, meetings suck nuts. I'm not a fan. How's this looking?
Looks like a beer.
No, but what a comeback. Hardy Sevilla is just an absolute beast.
He's leading from the front. He topped their tackle count.
Tops their tackle count. Just the way
carries like a monster.
The way he can just shrug off defenders.
Yeah.
They've got, when they start playing with real tenacity and real belief, like they grow another leg and the crowd gets in behind them. They make the gain line. They beat defenders just through sheer want and
Yeah.
determination to get extra meters.
He seems to be having fun as well.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
look at him
yeah.
in the press conferences, he seems happy.
Yeah. My only fear, can I be a little bit cynical for a second,
Oh, no.
is he's emptying the mental tank early. You know how they say, like the great players can only get up for the big games? He's getting it. These games are huge for him. And he's getting up from them. But is he going to be tapped out by the time we're getting into like November?
He's got that bin energy.
He's got that.
Yeah.
You know, that's a bloody NRL thing, by the way.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it all comes from NRL.
No! Rugby stealing from the NRL again?
Yeah. First, high quality players. Now the bin.
Defense coaches?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Exactly.
This is bullshit.
Owen Farrell's a league boy. You know that, don't
I
you?
know that. Yeah, his dad played league as well.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, I'm really loving Moana Pacifica. I'm feeling a little bit.
That
I'm
guy-
feeling a little bit conflicted about next week, if I'm being completely honest with you.
Patrick Pellegrini.
Oh yeah, he looks like.
You know what's fucked up about that? Like, he was playing
Tell me what's fucked up about that.
Division 2 rugby in England.
Yeah.
And then he was playing for Tonga. He's an Aussie, as far as I'm aware. Was playing Division 2 rugby in England, and then just kind of came to New Zealand to play for Moana Pacifica. Didn't start.
Yeah,
like, remember, he was behind Garden Bishop.
Yeah.
So
So we're like, we've got one
No,
kind of
no,
chubby, out of shape
yeah.
guy. Well, should we check the other? Because Garden Bishop was not shooting the lights out early.
that's right. So what is it with that? Like, he seems to be a fucking good player, but he just can't. Why is he?
I don't know.
Why is it taking so long for him to get a proper crack?
I think maybe this environment is really,
Suiting
really
him?
good for him. Like being able to be the general in a team with a lot of attacking flair and power. Having been given the responsibility to do that, he's really, really sitting with it.
Yeah.
He's kicking really well territorially.
Yeah.
He's making his goal kicking has been on point.
Yep.
He's stepping up in crucial moments in the game, in all the games where they've done well. He's not lacking on defense, and he's carrying a bit of timber. I love him. I think
Scored a try in that game as well.
I'm going to throw something out there.
Oh no,
Pellegrini, number 10
for the Wallabies.
for the Green and Golds, the Wallabies. in
How
the
long would
Lion
his stand
series.
down be from Tonga though? Because he's played for Tonga.
Scratch that. Impossible. Well, have we? No,
I think he'd be the same as Talmoifalau playing for the All Blacks. I think he last played in 2023, so 2026, so next year.
Bugger.
But he's playing very well.
He's playing great because that's for me. This is my biggest fear for the Wallabies right now is I don't see a world class 10.
Because they're losing Lolosio, and he's not a world class 10.
He's not a world
But
class.
he's going to Japan. Which I find strange if we can go tangentially for a second.
to league.
No, to Noah Lolosio.
Okay. Yes.
Because, like, that guy kind of got fucked around a bit by Eddie Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he didn't go to the last World Cup.
No.
Eddie Jones was like, I'm going to play Carter Gordon.
Oh yeah, that was fucking. Weird.
And Noah Lolosio was pissed off about that. Like, there's one game where the Brumbies played the Rebels last year, and Noah Lolosio scored a try.
Yeah.
And he was like, going to the camera, Carter Gordon! Carter Gordon! Like, so he's quite fucked off about the fact that he got dropped to play behind Carter Gordon.
Where the hell is Carter Gordon right now?
He's playing in the NRL.
Oh, is he? Did he really? Did he?
Yeah, he went to the league.
Who's he playing for?
I want to say the Dolphins, or am I wrong?
I haven't seen him.
Okay.
He might not be in first grade.
Okay. But,
He's good enough for the
yeah.
World Cup.
So then
2010.
last year,
I haven't watched all the
Schmidt
Dolphins.
backed him.
Yeah.
I did the depth chart thing. He played like 78% of the minutes. Like, Liner and Ben Donaldson got fuck all time. Schmidt was all in on Lolosio.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I'm going to Japan. And maybe he's just like, well, Schmidt's leaving, so I'll go too. Maybe he's just thinking they're not paying me enough.
Yeah, I want some cash.
He's only 25.
I want a nicer house.
But it's just,
25's the weird age though, because you're like, I'm not 18, I'm not a kid,
that's right.
and I'm stuck here on what's he wanted might be he wants
Someone
to
in
earn
the
somewhere-
comments, I don't
somewhere
know.
close to,
Someone said he wanted
$600,000.
600,000 Aussie dollars or something, and they weren't going to pay him.
Right, and he's like, well, I can earn 750 in
Japan.
so. That's, and you've only got a really short window to earn that sort of cash. So he's got that sort of cash maybe until he's 34, 33. And then he's got to find some other way to fill up his bank balance
That's it.
after that point, you know.
It's just a bizarre one because I would have thought if you've got that backing, you'd be chuffed to stay in Australia. Just sign a 1-year deal. Go through to the World Cup and then look.
There's a lot of different varying factors like his family, his relationships.
Maybe he got offered a shitload of money.
Yeah, which is weird because I don't know why. Well, obviously he's a good professional footballer, but he's not like, a glamour player that you're just gonna, empty the bank balance for or empty the bank account for. Anyway, interesting. Who should we talk about next, Mark?
Crusaders flogged the Drua 31-14 over in Fiji.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shame for a Fiji game.
Because Fiji were in Fiji and they were coming off the bye. So if there was a game where like the travel, because the Fiji Drua are traveling all over the shop.
Yeah.
If there's a game where the travel's not a factor.
Drua, bottom of the table, bit disappointing this year so far.
They've only beaten one side. They beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
The only side they've managed to beat. But that was in Lautoka. That's their fortress. This game was in Suva. They don't seem to be as good in Suva for whatever reason.
Yeah. No, that sucks, eh? Yeah, unfortunate for in front of the home fans as well. You could feel the crowd was just like, get one so we can get into the game. We just want to get into the game, and they just never could quite deliver.
But they scored when they were 31-0 down.
And watching the Crusaders win always sucks.
Yep.
So it was a shit game.
They were kind of dressed like Fiji because they were in black and white jerseys.
Yeah. Get your own look.
I think because their sponsors Fiji Airways, so they
right.
tipping their cap to
tipping the old
Fiji Airways.
Indeed. Anyway, that's enough talking about the Crusaders winning.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
Ass monkeys.
Blues got to win.
Boom! Dressed up as Spider-Man for some fucking reason. Yep. Why on earth? Why? When I turned it on, I was about 5 minutes into the game when I turned it on. I was like, why have they got this shit on? I just hate that fucking outfit. It's bad. I still have not seen a fucking...
you are not the target audience for these kits.
I have not seen a Marvel uniform, Marvel shirt in the wild. Have you?
No. I've seen them at Rebel Sport.
How many Auckland FC jerseys do you see around?
A lot.
Shit loads.
That'd be the most common jersey I see right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Easily.
More than Warriors jerseys.
For sure.
Yeah, Warriors jerseys would have been at before.
Would have been first, yeah.
Not a lot of Blues.
I see the odd bit of Blues gear.
But
All
Blacks when there's All Black stuff on.
I see a lot more Auckland FC, you're right.
Yeah, it's fucking everywhere. And a lot of kids wearing it. Yeah, as well. Yeah, hot ticket in town. Anyway, great to see us get a bloody win, really. A tough game as well.
19-18.
Yeah, real tough.
We were a bit lucky.
We
kicked our goals.
We kicked our goals. We took our points.
We kicked from hand well.
And
they missed their goals.
They
scored more tries than us.
And we don't win that game without Bodie Barrett.
Yes.
So good to see him back. And coming back and playing well immediately. So good. And it looked like he had, because his one thing we've been critical of him in recent times is his aimless kicking.
His aimless kicking has been fucking genuinely quite frustrating. But this week he had it on a string.
Great.
There was one kick where I think they missed the kick for touch.
Yeah.
They had a penalty, missed the touch kick, and he's on the sideline with no angle.
1 meter. And
then he just fucking hoofs that thing long. Bends it around. It was beautiful.
He did so many banana kicks.
Yeah.
So it looks to me like, and his goal kicking, which...
He missed one kick.
He missed one, but the week where he got injured... He was fucking
all over the shop, scattergun. Yeah, exactly.
He was shanking them. It was just all. Looks to me like, he gets a hand injury, so so he can still stay fit, he can still run, and he can still kick the ball. So it looks to me like
he's practicing goal kicking.
All he's been doing is practicing goal kicking and
kicking from hand.
And kicking from hand. So it's actually maybe a hidden blessing because those were the parts of his game that needed to really be picked up.
Yeah, and they shone really well.
Because those banana kicks, man, you don't see too many of them. I remember there was that period in the early 2000s when everyone got sort of Carlos Spencer inspired and everyone started being a little bit more creative. And Bodie's had that in his game. But he pulled it off to perfection, especially in that second half, just out of dodgy positions.
And we had some big defensive plays, a few big turnovers won.
Yeah.
Renatar scored our try and he won at least one big turnover on defense. So
Signa works hard. I like
Yeah,
them.
but I mean, the Canes will be gutted because they missed shots at goal to win it. They had 4 line breaks to 1. We conceded 14 penalties to their 8. Like, there was heaps of numbers that say they probably should have won. They scored more tries than us, but
They were unable to beat our spidey senses.
there you go.
Yeah. But look, I'm not going to sit here and quabble too much over the statistics. At the end of the day, we got a bloody win. So I'm happy. And that
Exactly.
keeps our season alive.
Yeah.
We look like such a better team with Bodie in the squad. What are you smirking about? Fuck, what?
I was just remembering that in my early 20s, one of my dickhead mates, because the Spider-Man movies were popular,
Yeah.
when we used to go out, he would go to I think it was the Sky City toilets, and he would like get the foam soap hand wash stuff, and he would just fill his hand with it, and then he would go like spider webs and like flick that shit all over you. What a dick.
There's meant to be a more X-rated version of that as well.
Okay.
You heard of that?
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Force also got a win over the Highlanders. The Highlanders are playing some shit ass rugby.
Yeah.
They're on like a 4-game loss
Which
streak or
is
something.
a shame because you think, well, Jamie Joseph coming back into the fold, what's he going to bring? Not a lot. Well, they where are they sitting on the table right now? Above us?
Yeah, they've won 2 out of 5, same as us, but I think
Yeah,
they're
right.
1 above us on the log.
Bastards. They don't seem to be striking fear into the hearts of anybody.
A lot of their losses are kind of close.
They got up early in that game, didn't they?
Yeah,
What
they
was
were
it?
leading at halftime.
21-7.
They were up 20-19 at halftime.
But they had a 20-7 lead. 21-7.
But they didn't score any points in the second half.
That's bad.
That's bad.
That's really bad. And then the Force came home with a wet sail, didn't they? What was the end score?
29-20.
Harry Potter.
Withy had a red card in that one for that knee to Harry Potter's head.
Oh, after the try.
Potter was scoring the try, and Withy just came in and kneed him in the head.
He should have done.
Slid his knees into him.
Should have been like
Expelliarmus.
Expelliarmus. Lumos.
Yeah, exactly.
Vadakarava.
Yeah.
Any more?
But the Force are playing some freaking nice rugby.
Why can I never remember more spells?
They love chucking the ball
Lumos.
around.
Akio.
They love chucking the ball around.
With
Tizano's been scoring
Expelliarmus.
tries for fun.
Cruciatus. What, you got any more?
2 more tries. Tizano and Brendan playing Mosa. And then Greeley got 1, Potter got 1, Pullman got 1. Some nice tries. 11 line breaks to 4. The Force. This is maybe the most fun I've had watching the Western Force side ever.
Expecto Patronum.
But the Highlanders just keep losing.
Indeed. They keep losing, and I don't see them making top 8 or top 6. They might make top 8, but I don't see.
Yeah, they might make the top 8.
I don't see them
Probably make
making
top 11.
Yeah, they just seem to be quite uninspiring rugby as well. You know, like an uninspiring performances.
Yeah, Tangi Tau's been one of their shining lights, but even he was quiet. I think he went off pretty early. So
Do you think it actually makes an impact when you're playing a 5:30 game at 11:30 at night or whatever it was for them, 9:30 at night?
I wonder how early they travelled to Perth.
But say if it's on a Wednesday, it's still going to be a little bit. Perth is a long bloody way away.
Yeah, it's the same time zone as China.
Jaina?
I used to like watching the Western Force games when I lived in China.
I actually, watching sport in Asia is actually, it's a good time zone. It's a good time zone. No, I think nothing to me else like too much of a pain in the ass, does it?
There's always somewhere that's going to be wrong.
Yeah. For us, it's Europe.
For us, it's Europe if it's during the day.
Yeah.
European nights are fine.
European nights. We're great for American stuff.
Yeah.
We get American stuff, great. Like their Saturday night stuff is on a nice little Sunday afternoon for us.
Exactly right. Asian stuff's fine because if it's on over there, it might be getting a little bit late, but it's usually before midnight.
Yeah.
So
Indeed.
it works.
It works.
So next round, Hurricanes Crusaders,
Got to give it to the Crusaders.
Waratahs Chiefs. Waratahs back in Australia where they tend to play a bit better.
Still got to give it to the Chiefs, don't you?
Auckland derby match between Blues and Moana Pacifica.
Yeah, I would love to see Moana Pacifica go 3 in a row, but I don't want to watch us lose. So think the Blues have to step up for that one. It's gonna be,
Battle-
could be a cracking game though.
Of the teams at the bottom of the log, the Highlanders and the Drua. Well, the Highlanders are still above us, but they're both on big losing runs. It's in Dunedin.
Go the Drua.
In Dunedin, you reckon?
No, but I want the. I'm so
Okay.
sorry. That's just a.
Reds, Brumbies.
What are the Brumbies on? And
The Brumbies just came off the bye. So they're on 4 wins, 3 losses. The Reds are on 5 wins, 2 losses.
I'm gonna give it to the Brumbies.
Away from home. And the Force are on the bye. How do you think they'll go?
And they'll struggle for a win.
They probably won't lose, though.
Yeah, right.
There you go. That was Super Rugby.
Oh, well done. Well done to you too.
Now, the average amount of points scored
Mm-hmm.
in Super Rugby at the weekend per match, I believe, was around about 39 points per match
Across the
across
two.
the 5 games.
Yes, and you're about to. Okay, can
Now,
you ask
people
me,
often give Super Rugby shit
Yeah, so it's
about
touch rugby.
defense is optional.
Yeah, we just have better attackers.
So the Champions Cup was in action this weekend.
Yes.
The average score in the Champions Cup was 70 points
Holy fucking
per
Darwin.
match.
Holy shit. Were they playing Ripper Rugby?
Apparently, defense is optional in the Champions Cup
Oh, top line.
because there were some big old score lines.
Wow.
There was one game that I think had 114 points.
Sounds entertaining.
Yeah, I know you've only kind of touched on it, but I recommended one game for you to check out, which you did.
Yes, I only watch it so I can relive the glory days of Tawariki Valo and Ihia West and La Rochelle. And, you know, they got Big Will Skelton in there as well. So there's a bit of interesting talent out there. Yeah, it was a pretty great game. It ended up on a knife edge at the end.
Yeah,
there
La
as well.
Rochelle Munster was
Entertaining.
a lot of the games
My
were
team is Munster, so
a lot of the games were quite lopsided,
yeah.
but that game was
Great travelling fans.
Yeah,
Amazing travelling
Munster fans I think especially travel quite well.
Yeah, incredible. Because I was like, when I first turned it on, I didn't know where it was being played. And I was like, was this Munster?
Because there's a heap of red in that crowd,
so
right?
much red. I was like, where is this actually being played? But a great result.
They were underdogs going into that one as well.
Yeah, and it was punch and counterpunch, and Ihia West got charged down at one stage and got a gob fill. It felt like there was a bit of
A bit of niggle.
a bit of testiness in that one.
Well, that one also because Ronan O'Gara is La Rochelle's coach, and he's obviously a Munster legend, so that I think adds a little bit to the spiciness.
Has anything come out of my Ronan O'Gara?
To the Wallabies, they're not yet.
That's my little fever dream.
Well, his team's on a bit of a bad run at the moment.
Yeah, right.
They've just gone out of Europe, 25-24.
Boom, gone. What round was that?
This is the round of 16, so it's knockout stages.
So we're not quite into the quarters.
Quarters will this coming weekend.
So it's like the eights.
Yeah, basically.
Doesn't have the same ring.
Not quite.
The eights. We go from the 16th to the eights. I'm always a big fan of the round of the 30 seconds. Do you like that round?
I think Munster were up 22-10 and looking relatively comfortable.
Yeah, and then there was a bit of a comeback at the end.
And
there.
then Crowley had that drop goal just to keep him at
arm's
arm's
length.
length.
Boy, oh boy, lucky you got that.
Yeah, because that was the difference in the end.
Yeah, Crawley that showed wisdom beyond his years there. And he's done that before, hasn't he? Yeah, he's got the droppy in him. Like a good droppy in him.
Good player.
Yeah, very good player.
Do you think he's a bit hard done by to not be starting ahead of Prendergast for Ireland in the Six Nations just gone, or
I've always preferred Crawley. I think that
Crowley?
Yeah, I think Crawley's pretty good too.
There's a Frawley,
I see this is
There's a Crowley.
I think it's just ridiculous.
and then I think in Downton Abbey there was Mr. Frawley.
Mr. Frawley? I know, I think he's with Mr. Bates. You really throwing me off my train of thought there. No, I really like
Crowley.
Fuck me dead. Crowley. I like him. I think it looks like he's got time on the ball, which shows to me he's a classy individual. Classy man. Some classy.
Tyke Byrne, very big defensively.
Yeah, Tagburn. And this is obviously Omani's last.
His last run, so he's still alive on this European campaign.
And so whose else is left? So I actually haven't seen the rest of the results. So do the quiz.
Northampton.
The Saints.
Were the Saints. Yes, they were at home to top 14 side Clermont.
I think the Saints got up for that.
They did. It was 46 points to 24.
Whoa.
Tommy Freeman bagged a hat-trick after a
3-0.
good Six Nations campaign. He bagged 3. He
Boom.
potentially could have had 4, but Pollock, their star loose forward who recently debuted for England, he just got to the ball first. And Freeman looked a little bit pissed off about it.
Really?
A little bit.
Like, dude.
Yeah. Claremont had a bunch of injuries in that game. They lost like 2 of their props. Yeah, you just score a try.
Yeah.
Claremont had a bunch of injuries. Do you remember Fritz Lee, Kiwi Fritz Lee? He went off on a stretcher, so unfortunate. Unfortunate. But yeah, that means Northampton will host a quarterfinal.
Fantastic.
They are the I'll get to that at the end. Toulon played Saracens over in France.
Toulon won that one.
Saracens scored 42 points.
But Toulon won.
72-42.
That is a mistake. That is a
Like, even Super Rugby doesn't fuck around with that kind of score.
Absolutely.
That's bullshit.
That's fucking. What on earth? And these guys are playing in like the most highly regarded European competition.
This is correct.
They have an agreement, like golden oldies defense, or
I don't know.
72.
Saracens had a big lead, and then Toulon in the second half just went on a rampage. Saracens only scored 1 try in the second half.
So Saracens were up big time and ended up conceding
72 points. Facundo Issa, the Argentinian number 8, had a hat trick in that game as well.
Wow, oh look, good luck to them. Fantastic, entertaining rugby.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, you wouldn't get that sort of stuff in the Champions League. It's bloody intense. They got great defensive structure. Oh, this is good stuff.
Yep.
All right, yeah.
Okay. Now, Leinster were at home to Harlequins.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, in this game, 62 points were scored.
Okay, so it was a low scoring for the weekend.
Yeah, this is a low scoring game.
Leinster. So they got Pollard, don't they? Is that right?
It's Leicester.
Fuck. That's the green team.
That's the green team.
Oh, so Leinster. Sorry, so
Irish Leinster.
Irish, yeah. Pardon me. I was thinking Leicester. So Leinster versus who again? Sorry?
Harlequins. Marcus Smith's Harlequins.
And where was it being played?
In Dublin. But it was at Croke Park. It was the Gaelic football ground. So massive crowd, big atmosphere.
Leinster don't lose until semis or finals.
Yeah.
So
Total points 62.
But Leinster won it. Got up.
What do you reckon the score is?
Total points 62, 44-18.
Nope. 62-0.
By the way, was my maths add up?
I don't know. I doubt it.
Well, okay, so if it was 44 plus 20, that would be 64.
Yeah.
So I said 44 plus 18.
Yeah.
That's 62.
There you go. You were wrong. 62-0.
Oh, fucking
It was only 19-0 at halftime.
Oh, good for Harlequins then. well done, lad.
Yeah. Gibson Park had a bit of a blinder. Van der Fleer had a blinder. Ringrose had a blinder. James Lowe scored 2.
Ringrose.
Yeah.
How does one get a name like Ringrose?
It's embarrassing. 62-0. 62-0.
Shithouse.
Yeah.
Well, the Leinster had good defence.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But like Leicester's been a bit criticised in recent times for like not unleashing the attack. Well, they were sublime.
All right, sounds like some good tries amongst all this.
Oh fuck yeah! They had mauls and off. Like I think the offload count was like 28-5 or some shit stupid. It was they were just on fire. Apart from the La Rochelle Munster game, I think the other probably game of the week was Cast, which is a French club, up against Benetton, one of the Italian clubs.
I haven't got one wrong yet, by the way.
No, you're on fire. Cast were at home. This game was decided by one team scored 37, one team scored 39. It was a last 3-minute try that won the game.
Just when Benetton thought they had it, Cast ripped it away.
You got it, babe. You got it.
Yeah.
This game was weird because...
So what am I... How many in a row have I got here?
So far, you are 4 from 4.
I think last week I got 5 from 7. So
we didn't do a podcast last week.
The week before.
There you go. That game.
You being rugby is so easy to predict. I should really bet, shouldn't I?
You should. Some of the tries in this game were like embarrassing.
What do you call the opposite of a Nostradamus? Somebody who makes all the right calls after the game's been played.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone full of shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but some of the tries were just like embarrassingly bad.
Really?
Like just like chucking the ball to grass, nobody grabs it, and someone's just like, I'll take that. And
So
then,
kind of like watching schoolboy stuff.
at times. But I mean, it was bonkers. It was all over the shop. There were some cracking tries as well.
It was bonkers.
Yeah.
Bonkers.
Cast had a red card earlier on in the second half. Benetton lost their number 10 to that red card because it was a high shot, so he went off for HIA. But then Gajo, the Argentinian prop, got a yellow card with like 3 minutes to go, and then
Gajo's
Cast scored, and Cast kicked the conversion to win the game.
I like Gajo. Gajo's got a bit about him, doesn't he?
He does.
Great on attack.
Yeah, but they lost, so he's out.
All right. See you later, guys.
You know the La Rochelle Munster game?
Yes.
Glasgow from the URC hosted Leicester Tigers with Handré Pollard.
I'm going to give it to... It was played in Scotland?
Up in Scotland.
I think this is the one where they shat the bed and Leicester got up.
You would be wrong.
Ah, fuck. I was like, I've got to throw...
A curveball somewhere. Leicester scored first, but that's about it. Like, it was 43-19.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. And if anything, I reckon...
Damn it, you know what? I haven't seen the only thing I saw the highlights of was the La Rochelle game. But when I was searching for the results for that, I saw all the highlights for all these other games. I didn't watch any of the highlights. I just saw thumbnails on Sky Sport Now. But I found myself watching... like 3 minutes of the highlights of that Leicester game, and I was like, oh, this is the only one where I've got an inkling. And I saw the fucking try. I saw that Handré Pollard was in the team, and I was like, oh, that's pretty good. And I saw that they scored first, and I was wow.
That's right.
So this is the problem. You got to make decisions with zero information.
You had a slight information and it threw you right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I reckon Glasgow left it between 3 and 5 tries out there, even though they scored 43 points.
Oh, right.
Like Van Portfleet had like an ankle tap try saver.
Leicester used to be a glamour club, but they...
Yeah, that's right. Leicester Whanganuku was named after Leicester because they were so fucking good.
Yeah, right.
Ollie Hassel-Collins tackled Carl Stein like right as he was about to pop a assist.
How does Handré Pollard look for them? Does he look like he's just...
He had like a heap of run meters and then he got cramp. So,
oh, God.
Yeah.
Sounds like you on that run.
Yeah, basically. I ran the first 2Ks and I was like, this is great. And then I was like, oh, wait, I'm old.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then there were 2 games today.
Yeah, right.
Bordeaux
hosted
Ulster over in Bordeaux.
The Boardies got up.
They did 43-31.
Still
to be fair, Ulster only scraped into this match, so they were, I think, decent value.
It's really going towards home teams, isn't it? Really.
So it's kind of easy to predict, isn't it?
A little bit.
Yeah. Bordeaux were up like 3 tries to 0.
Yeah.
Peno got a try.
Oh, nice.
Your Big Ben Tamiafuna got a try.
I like a bit of Big
Former
Ben.
Wallaby Adam Coleman got a try.
Oh, Colesy got in there.
And then like Ulster would just get it back interesting, and then Bordeaux would be like, nah, fuck you.
Yeah, right.
And score again. So never really in doubt.
Gotcha.
And then the final game.
All right. This is our curveball. There's got to be one curveball in there.
Toulouse up against Sale Sharks. Now, this game was
where?
In Toulouse.
Oh, how can I not go?
This game was delayed
Rain?
by 40 minutes.
Streakers.
You give me your theory as to why the game was delayed by 40 minutes.
There was a flock of pigeons shitting in the middle of the ground that wouldn't go away.
Okay.
There was some sort of political drama, and there was a person on a small fixed-wing plane dropping flower bombs around it. Or alternatively, one of the team buses was late.
Okay.
Through to traffic that was unforeseen.
Some good theories. Nothing. You've had some in the ballpark, but nothing quite.
The referee pulled a groin. The whole referee team pulled all their groins.
It does involve something from the sky.
Something from the sky. Rain.
No, it wasn't rain. It was a pretty fine day.
Spirit in the sky. A smoke, fire. There's a fire nearby.
No, but they did need to get the fire department.
There was a series of trees on the pitch where cats were stuck up.
But they did need the fire department to go and rescue someone who was stuck.
So one of those people who are too fat to walk on a mobility scooter blocked the tunnel to. They were so fat they blocked the tunnel to where the players come out. They had the jaws of life to get them out.
Before the start of the game,
humiliating moment for that person.
The French military sent paratroopers, to like parachute into the stadium, and one of them got his parachute caught on like the awning of the stadium.
Oh,
so he was trapped dangling there for like half an hour, and like they had the fucking mascot. He was running like he ripped the post padding, ripped the post padding off the posts. And they were running out and stuck them under the guy, like in case he falls down. They had this kid's like inflatable like toy rugby pitch. They had all this inflatable shit underneath this guy in case he fell. And then you saw the fire department coming down the motorway, and they drove into the stadium, and they had to get the cherry picker up, and they had to get him down, and they had to cut the chute, and it was
humiliating moment for the poor guy. Oh God,
it was different.
Because paratroopers, they don't have as much control as your general parachute.
It looked pretty windy. To be fair.
You see them like out in Whanupō way, they jump out and they're like plump.
Yeah. Because there's an Air Force base just up the road from
plump.
us.
Yeah. It's fucking funny. Yeah. Why did I guess that?
No, exactly. How could you miss that one?
Can't believe I haven't seen anything else. I don't have any social medias on my phone.
It was actually on the radio this morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
He was up there for fucking ages.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, I'm glad you told me that.
Yeah.
I'm now going to look it up.
But yeah, Toulouse played Sale Sharks. Toulouse, remember?
Toulouse to 1.
Yeah, they did. 38-15. But Sale were actually ahead at halftime.
How much did I get right?
You got all but one.
So 6-1?
Yeah. Because you knew the La Rochelle one.
All
so
right.
yeah.
So all the home teams won?
Except for the Munster game.
The one that I watched?
You saw it, yeah. That was the big upset of the round. So apart
Go on,
from,
Munster.
I mean, the concerning thing about that one is Tom Curry for Sale went off injured pretty early in that game. So potential Lions ramifications there, but we'll see. He went off with a wrist injury. But remember, Toulouse with no Antoine Dupont, they were down at halftime and then scored a bunch of tries. Nice. Capozzo also went off on a stretcher.
Capozzo, I think that's the way you pronounce that.
He went off on a stretcher after scoring a try.
Ooh.
He was playing very...
He won't be representing the Lions.
No, he won't because he's French-Italian.
Yeah. Is he French-Italian, is he?
Apparently
he plays for Italy.
Capozzo is a French name. I think he's got Italian name. He's got Italian heritage, but he's like a Charles Pietau.
Yeah, gotcha.
He's like, born and raised in one country, but has heritage in the other.
Yeah, sure.
So there's one Premiership team in the quarterfinals, 4 French teams, and 3 URC teams. So 2 Irish and 1 Scottish team. So the quarterfinals will be Leinster up against Glasgow. That is an all URC affair.
Did Glasgow win it last year?
They won the URC.
All right, yeah, okay.
So Leinster are pretty highly favoured. That one's on a decent time for us. That's Saturday, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Not too bad. Then Bordeaux take on Munster. That's Sunday, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, it's not a good time.
Northampton host Cast.
I get the feeling you're going to be updating me on the result of that one.
Yeah, I ain't going to watch 2 a.m. Fuck that shit. Northampton Cast Sunday, 4:30 a.m.
Yikes.
And then Toulon Toulouse is a big French derby Monday, 2 a.m.
Fucking Monday.
I know.
Monday games suck.
It's a Sunday afternoon in France.
All right. Enjoy your happy Monday, everybody. Oh,
but yeah, high-scoring games.
Yawn then. Sorry about that. It feels later than it is, isn't it?
Daylight savings has just clicked over.
Just clicked in.
It's like 9:49, but it's 10:49.
It feels like 10:49. And we're here still rocking out the potty for you.
After going for a 12K run.
13K
run.
13K run.
So
is that the furthest now where you've run?
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to do this, bloody. Well,
can I give you some other sports news?
Yeah, far away.
In the ice hockey,
I
I follow the New York Islanders.
Yep.
They're in a position to maybe make the playoffs, maybe squeak in.
Go on.
They were in a very important game
Of ice hockey.
of ice hockey.
They weren't playing tic-tac-toe or something.
It's been all over the news because a historic event happened in that game.
Yes.
The New York Islanders conceded the goal, which meant Alexander Ovechkin passed the great Wayne Gretzky as the top points or goal scorer, not point scorer, goal scorer ever in the history of the NHL.
Wayne Ovechkin is a freak, and but Wayne Gretzky must have had a much shorter career.
I think they played a similar number of games, but Gretzky's points total is fucking miles ahead because he's got assists as well as goals, whereas Ovi's more like a goal scorer.
And he's just got freakish hands and talent, doesn't he?
He's got a big shot on him, big slap shot.
Yeah. He's been around for yonks. It was him and like Sidney Crosby came up at the same time, didn't they?
That's right, they were within a year
You're
of each other.
impressed by my sweet knowledge.
Very good.
He was a Penguin, Sidney Crosby. And
He still is, and Ovi's a Capital.
Yeah,
They're both
Washington
like one club
Capitals.
guys.
Yeah,
They
right.
both won the Stanley Cup. But yeah, Ovi's just become the top of... Sidney Crosby was there. He literally scored the goal, and then they stopped the game.
Yes.
They stop the game. Everyone shakes his hand. They roll out a carpet, and they have like a whole ceremony. Like they do the whole ceremony, and then they go back to the game. It was weird.
Why don't they just do it at the end?
Don't know.
Really ruins the flow of the game. You're the opposition coach. You're like,
Islanders still won the game, so it was kind of win-win. They conceded the goal of a historic game. There was a home game for the Islanders, so the crowd was still cheering Ovi for breaking the record.
yeah.
But then they went on and won the game. So it's
What,
good.
is he a Czechoslovakian?
Russian.
I don't think it's Czechoslovakia exists.
Hasn't been around for a wee while. Czech Republic
I
with
think I
Czech.
got my nations from my 1991 Atlas.
That's right.
Oh, good one, Ovechkin.
Well done.
He's a bit of a character too, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Missing teeth.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of ice hockey players are missing teeth.
They don't like to replace their teeth until their careers are over.
Yeah, because it's just wasted money, really.
Yeah. All right, well, good. And he's a big guy as well, isn't he? Much bigger than Sidney Crosby.
I think so, yeah.
Sidney Crosby's just like a bit of a glamour,
Talented.
freakish talent. All right, fantastic. Have I got any updates for you? Mark Nawinitawasi's still looking relatively good, although the Roosters are a little bit up and down.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen your man Carter Gordon anywhere.
Who's he playing for?
I don't know. I don't watch the Dolphins.
Okay, I know he started off playing
I
like...
watch the Dolphins when they play the Warriors, but
Okay,
Warriors had a bye last weekend, so we got a banked a couple of sweet points for that.
the bye.
The bye points.
Gotta love the bye points.
Love a bit of a bye point. So we're 3 wins, 1 loss.
Oh, Gold Coast Titans.
Oh, the Titans.
That's Queensland, isn't it?
Yep.
So
Gold Coast.
I was close.
Yeah, pretty damn close. Okay, don't make me yawn.
Sorry, talking about league, but it does that to you.
Yeah, the league is it's such a boring game. I've got no other sporting updates for you. That's it, and no more witty banter. I'm all out.
Okay.
I'm all out of witty banter. We're almost out of beers. That sounds like another.
If you want to sponsor the pod, send us an email.
I know. First pod in 3 months or so. Beyond, we haven't had
No
a sponsor.
sponsor.
So look, it's good for my editing game.
Yeah, it means you
Don't-
don't have
don't
to
have
edit
to-
in a logo, but your logo could be here. You could make Tony edit in that logo.
Do you want to give me some extra work? Buy us a beer, motherfucker.
There you go. That's the way you sell beer. Well,
It's how you spell, and it's a very reasonably priced podcast.
this is
Of
true.
only $14,000 per episode. Easy.
Negotiable.
Let's get his pipe sorted as well, people. Get his pipe sorted. All right, well done. Great running today, Matt. Great running. Proud of you.
I'm
Proud
looking
of
forward
you.
to next week where I get to see you and we don't have to run.
Yeah, then the next week I'm running 15.
We're just going to keep increasing this until,
Yes.
until
We
like
just ran 600.
do ultra
Well, I have to work
marathon?
out. The other thing is, I have to work out when our 100 episode is. I really hope it's not this episode,
Okay.
because we have to mark it somehow, don't we?
If it was, happy 100, but probably not.
I don't think it is because we worked it out.
We're a bit short.
I think we're still a couple of episodes short.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think we should do? If you've got any ideas for that, I was thinking potentially we get people to send in some videos, and we sit here watching their videos of.
That's more editing work for you.
It is. Well, it might be. Be right if it ended on one of these weeks when nothing's happening and I could release it like a couple
Nothing's
of days.
happening.
I mean, yeah, all that Champions League stuff was really exciting.
Champions League's football, for goodness sake.
Yeah, I was really interested in that. All right, everybody.
I don't know.
I did that.